Hello friends and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the most common mistake I see from carry players. Now, those of you that play the other roles, I know you click this video just to see like, oh yeah, carry players are dumb, right? You all make this mistake too. You're just in the situation less often. So everyone has something to learn here, and that is active farming versus passive farming. Now what I mean here is that I commonly see people say something like, well, I got 6 slotted and I still lost. Like, what more could I have done? Farming is like the minimum that you can do as a carry player or anyone in the situation who currently needs to farm, right? Getting gold is good, but that's like the baseline, okay? If you're 6 slotted, but the enemy carry is also 6 slotted, there's no actual item advantage there. There might be a draft advantage, in which case, sure, it's good to like aim for that a little bit, but even in those situations, you would still rather be 5 slotted compared to the enemy being 4 slotted typically. Like, that's an actual item advantage. And the way to get that is through active farming, which is that whether you farm like up here versus like here or here, that's all farming. Some is a little more efficient than others, but in the end, it's all getting gold. But they do different things for your team. So for example, back here is extremely passive versus over here might be a little more in position to join a fight here or here just by walking, whereas being right here, maybe it's more aggressive, it's a little bit more dangerous, but you offer the most pressure to your team. So in this game, I want to show you this PL who is starting a little bit on the back foot this game. He had a rough laning stage. It doesn't really matter, right? Whether you're ahead or you're behind, like in the game, right? What we're going to talk about today is looking at the minimap and seeing opportunities to contribute to your team while still farming. So right now, PL doesn't see certain heroes on the map. And in particular, let's use this Bat Rider, right? Whether it's Bat Rider or some hero who's just popping off, right? There's usually some hero in a game that you're scared of. You're like, oh God, I don't want to get killed by that hero, and I want to avoid that hero. So right now in this situation, PL doesn't see all the heroes, and in particular, he doesn't see this Bat Rider. So he might be scared. And farming in the jungle is okay in that case, because when you're in the lane, you're exposing yourself to the lane creeps. They know where you are, and if they want to kill you, they'll come kill you. Now, when you're in the jungle, as long as they don't have like deep wards down, they may not know you're there. They might still find you by chance, like let's just smoke in this area, right? They might be inferring where you are. That can still work, but they don't have that like for sure. He is right here in the landing stage. I know exactly where to use my spell to surprise him, right? They have to come over and blindly guess where you are if they don't have any deep wards, and that gives you a better chance at surviving. So when PL is scared and he's jungling right now, that is fine. Now keep your eyes on the minimap though. They've all shown now. So we have 3 heroes in the bottom lane, 2 in the mid lane. What that means is that PL should immediately move to this part of the map. He should start pressuring the enemy's tower, and that's going to be good for his team. For him, sure, there's a little inefficiency walking past these jungle camps, but he's going to get here as fast as possible, and that's important because right now, the enemy team is applying 2 hero pressure to this OD. There's like a 3v3 here. Different games, that might be better or worse for you, but jungling right now doesn't really do anything for your team. You're getting farm, that's good, but you would get farm here. And when you farm in the jungle, nothing really changes for your team. You're not pressuring the enemy's part of the map. There's no reason for the enemy to leave their 2v1, their 3v3s and be like, oh, I gotta go defend this tower, right? They look at this and go, it's just sitting here, right? I'll get there eventually. You need to come and pressure this, and you'll still get farm. And when someone rotates up here, you can choose to either continue to farm and make your way back towards your part of the map until something else changes, or you can decide, hey, I want to fight. I want to TP in because Bat Rider left. Now I want to TP in here and I want to fight whoever's here and I want to take this tower. Or now I want to TP down here and I want to join this fight and we win a fight and we take this tower, right? There's different situations for all of that, but it begins by getting a rotation out. And so when PL just jungles like this really doesn't help his team like at all. Now, the enemy carry was also farming. In this case, they're kind of like more active in the fights. PL is technically like getting a little more farm right now than Slark. But again, he could actually be farming like in the lane, contributing something. And especially this movement, right? Like moving towards his team now and towards the enemy heroes. The question is, do I want to do that? Now, some heroes want to fight. And actually, if you can fight in this current meta, that's actually pretty good. If PL had Diffusal, I'd be more open to that. But PL started off on a back foot. Actually, even if he had a good game, having Diffusal at this point would be a little hard. So he wants his Diffusal before he joins these fights. Moving towards your team, moving towards the enemy, that's saying, I want to join fights. If you want to, sure. PL in this situation, He doesn't want to, so why is he moving this way? He should be moving this way or this way, where the map is still open. He can still get farm, but he's going to be avoiding the enemy teams, and he's going to leave this farm for his team. Let's say his team does this stuff, right? Let's say this OD, he pushes mid, he defends it. They don't really want to like fight this tower, so they're like, okay, I got a chill moment, right? The creep wave's dead. I got something to do. I want to farm. What? There's a PL here. Well, should I steal PL's farm like in his face? I want to go here. Oh, PL's walking there. Well, I guess I'll just walk back to mid, right? You're taking his camps. If he wants to come here to farm, maybe he can do that. But now the heroes in the off lane, right? Maybe they did the stuff. They get pushed back. They get scared. Like, wait, there's no OD here. I wish OD could have farmed here. Oh, there's a PL there. Well, I wish any of us had access to all these open camps where no heroes are right now. And it starts with the PL, identifying, hey, I can move wherever from this point in the map. If I move this way, I'm going to be conflicting with my team. I'm going to be taking their farm. And this is where a lot of heroes, a lot of players say like, I'm really farmed. Where's my team's farm? If you farm like this is where your team's farm is. It's in you. You're taking the team's farm. So even when you're being defensive, right? Being defensive up here is different versus being defensive up here. One is leaving farm for your team to also get farm while they're defensive, and one is stealing their farm and leaving open all these resources that no one can now get to. Now, surprise, surprise, PL joins this fight and can't actually do much here because PL is behind and does not have the defusal. So he's going to go back to farming, and I'd say that is the correct choice, but should have just never showed up to the fight, and he'd have a couple hundred more gold. From here, okay, a little scared, right? We're back in that situation. Heroes are missing. I don't want to die. So jungling here, that's fine. We keep an eye on the mini-map right now. If your mini-map awareness sucks, go watch my video on that. I'll link it in the description. Hey, here's that Bat Rider. He was moving up here, and I was scared. I didn't want to run into him here. But now I see Bat Rider here. I see several heroes here, in fact. I see 3 heroes. One's dead, and one's bottom. What does that tell me again as the PL player who's free to go wherever? This part of the map, all open. Any of these choices will give me farm, right? Farming these camps and this camp is farm. Farming all these camps, that's farm. Farming this is farm. It's all getting me gold, but which is the most useful to my team? Do I contribute anything from being here? What you get from being here is like maybe you can walk to join the fight like we saw PL do earlier, but he still shouldn't do that yet. So like I don't love that choice, but he is positioned to walk up here and push us out. Why not just do that first? This is available to him right now. While the enemy teams are distracted, while they're busy, he could start shoving this in. And when someone comes up to rotate to defend this, he just backs off, or he joins the fight. And even if he's just backing off the farm, there's now less heroes here. His team is a little more free. They feel safer. They've only got 3 heroes here, so 3v3, maybe not the best to take a fight, but now 3v2, maybe they do want to fight and they go for it. Is that option ever going to be there if no one's pressuring this top? Not really. So PL just like sitting here jungling, this isn't really helping his team at all. And now like the heroes are going to respawn, they're going to come back mid. You're going to see like PL just continue to jungle right now. And he's like slowly making his way top, right? But it's a difference of like 30 seconds to a minute. And in 30 seconds to a minute, something like this can happen, which is that they finish killing off a hero here. Now they want to take the tower. Hey, PL's top. What if we just leave 2 heroes to take this tower? Because actually, we already killed the enemy hero here. Now the 2 of us, if we still have enough spells to do so, why don't we go mess with that PL? The opportunity that we talked about of pressuring this lane, it's gone now. Because they've finished what they needed to group up for. They've killed a hero. They can now take this tower, which means if PL starts shoving in now, I would still be happy that he shoves in this lane because, like, he should, right? But if he keeps trying to go further, the enemy might be teleporting in, or they might be walking up here, and now they're going to catch him. Now PL does kind of need to eventually make his way to the jungle, but he could still get this creep wave, and it's going to be different. Because the enemy, if they want to like make their way up here, if the creep wave is here, it's very easy to just connect in this way. If he finishes killing off this creep wave, shoves it to like back here, and then he goes jungle, if they like walk through here, they're missing a ton of creeps. So that's good for you economically. But also it's like you might be chipping the tower with the creeps. That's also good. And you kind of like see it coming like, hey, no one is dealing with this. They stopped playing mid. That's really suspicious. I think they're looking for me. And then you TP away as the PL, right? This is all giving you information. But if you come to the jungle first, this is passive farming. Yes, you're getting gold, but you're not doing anything for your team. Like, he's coming here now. It's getting a little late now, right? Now the tower's down. He does still have some time to do this, but he should, like, help do this. Like, he's just using his Q and then walking away. He should continue hitting here a little bit more. And then he should probably just farm up here and keep an eye on the minimap and see what is the enemy team doing. Hey, they actually didn't leave mid. They took that tower, but they're still here. So I should immediately resume shoving in the lane. Active farming. I'm still getting gold as a carry. Whether I'm farming here, whether I'm farming here, whether I'm farming here, it's all gold. Some is a little more or less, right? Like, but whatever, let's not worry about that. I'm getting gold, and I'm contributing to the team. I'm contributing this map pressure. This, they're free to bring 4 heroes here to take fights, and they're not being punished for it. The punishment is that when you bring 4 heroes here, they all split one lane of creeps. And if they get heroes, that's the extra gold. If your team can manage to like play safe while you're gone, and you're getting a full creep wave to yourself, that is 4 times as much gold going to the PL than it's going to any of these heroes right here. And that is how, like, when you're behind, you start to catch up. If you're just like jungling here, you're getting more gold technically still, but it's also never going to draw any of these heroes away, because the other issue with being here as 4 heroes is that the rest of your map is open. You need to make them have to come back or to lose this tower and restrict the enemy's jungle access, because now they've lost this tower. It's easier to be invaded themselves when your team gets to that point, if ever. But if all the towers just stay up because you just keep defensively farming, then none of those opportunities ever arise. So now I want to show a positive example of this. This Dragon Knight is bugged. He's just in Knight form. He came up here. Now, for whatever reason, right, in your game, this happens. You're on your own. You're pushing the lane. Once he finishes farming here, Dragon Knight has a choice. I either go farm defensively or I go farm aggressively. Or maybe I go rejoin my team, right? That's another thing. Let's just say for this example, he doesn't want to join his team yet. He still wants to farm up. Then you keep an eye on the minimap. You see several heroes showing. You know you're ahead. You know you're not that scared. He's the carry Dragon Knight. I'm not that scared of only the 2 remaining heroes missing, and I don't think they'll get me. Plus, I have this defensive ward helping to provide me some vision. So he feels comfortable to continue farming aggressively. And I agree. I think this is a good choice. He could get farm doing this, doing this, doing this. It would all be gold. But this actually helps his team. This pushes stuff into the tower, and he can then take the tower or force the enemy to come up here, which helps relieve pressure from his team, which is playing maybe a little aggressively without him, right? If the enemy brings 5 heroes here, 4 heroes here, maybe it's a little scary for him. But if he forces at least 1 hero to rotate up here, then that makes things easier for his team down here. So here, Dragon Knight finishes farming this, and this is where you should make the choice. Do I need to be defensive? Do I need to be aggressive? This is where Dragon Knight should probably head to the jungle for a second. Maybe farm this camp, maybe farm this camp, and wait and see. Keep his eye on the minimap, and if heroes continue to go missing, he goes, okay, I need to keep being defensive. I'm going to keep moving further back. But when he sees this, 1 hero here, 1 hero here, 1 hero here, still relatively feeling strong against like those 2 other heroes who aren't showing, so I'm going to continue being aggressive. And now I see a 4th, 5th hero flash here. You got to decide instantly, do I join the team or not? Dragon Knight has no way to join the team in this case. So he needs to take this tower, and he's already in position to do it because after he farmed this wave, he kept going aggressively. He identified, I can keep being aggressive, or he lucked into it, I don't know, but he did, and that was correct. If he had just jungled, the creep wave would still be back here. And then he sees like 5 heroes showing. Now he goes, oh shit, now I gotta push. So now he comes up here, and that would be like the next best option, but the actual best option is to already be here taking the tower while the rest of his team is doing stuff here and the enemy team is all, distracted fighting his team. If you're still stuck back here, he's just, okay, kill the creep wave, I'm pushing in, and now the fight is already decided. It's done. And now they get to say, hey, wait, Dragon Knight's about to start hitting our tower, right? Because it was still full health before this. We finished the team fight here. Everyone, go TP, go kill that Dragon Knight carry, right? And now you've lost that opportunity. But because Dragon Knight was pushing, he's already here, he's already taken this tower. By the time the enemy team is done with this fight and they go, okay, where's Dragon Knight? Ah, shit, the tower's down. Now, actually, as Dragon Knight takes this tower, you need to make that choice again. Do I go aggressive? Do I go defensive? Team dead. The enemy team finished killing them. Now they're free to do something else. Do I think they're all just going to sit here as 5? That's actually what they do. But usually you shouldn't do that. They should start, doing something else. Either push this bottom tower, push mid, or maybe go get this carry DK. That would be a pretty valuable kill while lots of allies are dead. So I do think getting out of the lane is the safe call. But in terms of where should you go, top or bottom, I'd say top is better for you defensively because it's further away from the enemy. And if they are walking towards you, they're going to be coming in through this way. So you're moving towards where they could be. Turns out they're all still bottom, right? And as you see this, you should immediately just turn around. You should go, whoa, they don't want to deal with this. Okay, I'm going to come back up here. This is now the active farming, right? And that's why if you had gone top, you'd be like farming these two camps and you'd be like a little closer as well. That can also factor into like where you want to move to farm to keep close to the lane so that once you see stuff happen, you can immediately get back in. Either way, if this was the safest play and you now see this, again, just, okay, turn around. If they don't want to be here still, they also want to group bottom. They want to go push this tower. I need to relieve that pressure from my team. I need to go chip this top tower or make someone rotate in here, and that means there's only 4 heroes at most pressuring this tower, and at that point, maybe we've got heroes respawning, maybe we can fight. Now we can go down there and take a 5-on-4. But if I don't pressure this and everyone respawns and they're all pushing this, we TP down, it's now a 5-on-5. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But if I had the choice, I'd certainly like an advantage in terms of numbers, and by coming up here, doing the active farming, that's what you can do. If you farm in the right place just once, or even if you luck into it, one time, maybe not enough to massively change the game. But the more you can consistently identify the best place to be, that you can contribute to your team by farming here instead of just like farming here and slowly like AFK defensive stuff, right? You create more opportunities for your team to get ahead, and that's how you can be really useful, even though you're still just farming and not joining all the fights necessarily, right? There is a big difference. I hope you see that after watching this. If you still need help identifying this in your own games, then maybe drop by one of my Wednesday streams. We can take a look at one of your games, see some situations like this potentially. I'd love to have you there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.